Who am I selling this to?
Aric.
Or assigns. That's what we're talking about today.
Welcome to the Utah Real Estate Show podcast, the show where two agents and a lender teach real estate best practices by talking through mistakes we've seen and made.
Actually, never ever taking possession of the home. They're selling the sell.
Yep. And the important thing about this and why we're talking about all this is because in the Utah Real Estate Purchase Contract, or the REPC, in Section 19, this is forbidden.
Yeah. No assignments for you.
You cannot assign the Utah Real Estate Purchase Contract unless you
do it properly.
Do an addendum, and there is a way to do it properly. Hello and welcome to another episode of the Utah Real Estate Show. I am Tyler Cazier, Utah Real Estate Agent.
Jason Christiansen, Mortgage Lender.
Aric Wiszt, Utah Real Estate Agent.
And today we are talking about and/or assigns.
Assignable. Okay. What does that mean?
Wholesaling is what that sounds like to me.
Well,
Sounds like mortgagee clauses to me.
see, and that's why we're having this discussion, because it means a whole lot of things for a lender or an agent. So those are two different ways of looking at it. And assignable, on the agent side of it, we look at it as it's those yellow signs you see posted up at every corner. It says, we buy houses for cash at this and whatever the condition, blah, 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 whatever it is. Those are most likely wholesalers that are trying to market you to come call them so they can buy your house in whatever condition it is, because they have no intention on keeping it. Well, they may not have intention on keeping it. They're going to get it under contract with you and then assign the contract to somebody else. So they are wholesaling your house out to other investors.
So they're actually never ever taking possession of the home. They're selling the sell.
Yep. And the important thing about this and why we're talking about all this is because in the Utah Real Estate Purchase Contract, or the REPC, in Section 19, this is forbidden.
Yeah. No assignments for you.
You cannot assign the Utah Real Estate Purchase Contract unless you
do it properly.
Do an addendum, and there is a way to do it properly.
Well, what if I am the buyer and then I assign it to the company that I am an owner?
So there is an exception here. So these are called permissible transfers.
Well,
so I'm
going to back up. Why is that even in the contract? Why is it defaulting to no?
This is kind of interesting because, as a realtor, you're supposed to be working for the highest and best use and taking care of people. I think this is one way you're backing up the code of ethics, right? So as a realtor, you have to use the REPC, okay? And so you are taking care of your client, your prospects, the general public, other brokers. You say, let's get this property taken care of. This is the highest and best use. Your little town that's on Main Street really should be commercial property and worth way more than what you're selling it for, but we just need to change the zoning and or something like that, right? And so an assignment usually happens because the seller doesn't know what's going on. They don't know what they have.
Right.
And so it's protecting the seller. It's protecting them, saying, look, hey, you can't just automatically assign this without having proper written notifications and proper addendums and legal terms, because you're now adding and throwing in another party into this transaction that's not there, and this guy is out here floating around not knowing what's going on.
The seller didn't have an opportunity to vet, that the seller doesn't know anything about. Because there's stuff that goes into vetting that buyer. To say, do they have the credit to make this happen, or do they have the proof of funds to be able to?
They just don't have much control, because it's the middleman who's now doing all of that.
Right.
And they're the one that's handling it.
Really indicative of an assignment or a contract that they plan on assigning is a really long deadline. So they want a couple months to see. They'll come in. So my favorite is a house built in the 1800s downtown Lehigh. Not a historical district, just a crummy old house. It's not worth much on an acre lot. So that house on the lot as it sits is worth the price of the lot.
Yeah, somebody comes and says, oh, your house is only worth $200,000. That's it. Because it's a junk home. It's falling apart. It should be torn down.
Yard is a mess.
The seller who's living there is like, yeah, this house is pretty ratted.
I bought it for $19,000 back in the day.
So they buy it. The assigner,
they get
get under contract, but it's going to be assigned.
They go to the city.
What does that wholesaler do?
See if it can be rezoned. Now I'm doing 3/3 of an acre lots. They've tripled the value of the property.
And the wholesaler marked it up, and now he is making that middle price, but the seller's only under contract for.
Yeah, I'm buying it for $200,000. I'm selling it for $1 million. That $800,000 is the cost of my assignment,
not to the seller.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
So there are some exceptions to the and/or assigns prohibition.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
And this is another legal term. It's permissible transfer. Now, a permissible transfer is anything to do with, let's say I get this under contract. I get the property under contract, and then I have an investment group that I would like to work with, and instead I want my investment group to make that purchase. It is a permissible transfer to say, okay, I'm going to transfer it into that investment group, and we're going to purchase it as an investment group. Same for families, partnerships, LLCs.
So arm's length really applies here.
Mm-hmm.
But the prohibition stands on anything that you're going to take outside. So if I want to sell, or now I want to sell the contract to Jimmy Bob. And Jimmy Bob, I don't know Jimmy Bob, he's not a member of our family, but he wants to buy it. He wants to have the assignment. There is a way to do that by utilizing an addendum to the real estate purchase contract. And, maybe someday we'll have to do a conversation about that. In this episode, we're not going to cover that, but there is a legal way to do it, but that's not the...
Well, we're going to be talking about investing in wholesaling later on in a few episodes.
That'll be good. So, what did we learn today?
Well, my key takeaway is that the and/or assigns language is the way that you tell somebody that you might potentially want to assign this contract.
I like that. To a permissible party.
To a permissible party, yes.
Right. If you go outside of that, it needs to be disclosed in writing before you make any changes.
Yeah, the assignment is going to a third party, and as the seller, you don't have control over that. Comment down below on assignments that you have done, because there's a lot of people that this is a very common situation. It happens a lot.
That's how they make their money. There's a few groups.
Yeah, it's huge. So we want to hear some more stories on how that worked out really well, or why it was in that seller's best interest to do that assignment.
Yeah.
So I'd like to hear that.
Wholesaler.
Yeah. Comment down below, share it. We want to hear about it.
And get a sticker.
If you want to get in touch with us, shoot us a text at 801-228-7687. Make sure you mention the show. You can email us at theutahrealestateshow@gmail.com. You can watch this show on YouTube, and you can listen on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts. If you learned something, or if you really love this show, give us a like on YouTube and drop a rating on Apple Podcasts or wherever you listen. The Utah Real Estate Show is a production of Hive Collective at Presidio Real Estate, with support from Security Home Mortgage. The NMLS number for Security Home Mortgage is 178787. The NMLS number for Jason Christiansen is 240472, Equal Housing Lender. Not only is this not legal or investment advice, but you should definitely talk to a pro before you make any real estate decision. Every situation is different and should be considered in context. Copyright Jason Christiansen, Aric Wiszt, and Tyler Cazier. All rights reserved. Talk to you next week.
Welcome to another episode of Unicorn Hunter.
Womp, womp, womp. Da, da, da.
No.
Your boss would love it.
No. No. Mystical. No.
Were you in theater?
No.
Should have been.
You should have been in theater.
And I'm like, yeah! Hey, Aric. Wait.
That'd be interesting. Okay, perfect. Hello and welcome to... Stop it. Hello and welcome to another episode of the Utah Real Estate Show. I'm Tyler Cazier, Utah Real Estate Agent.
Jason Christiansen, Mortgage Lender.
Aric Wiszt. Gosh.
Aric Wiszt.
Okay.
I am Tyler Cazier, Head Unicorn Hunter.
Assigned on a contract.
My dog ate my assignment.
That would suck.